Moving on to control flow. We have if-else statements. So indentation should be pretty good in your projects regardless, but it's really important in if-else statements. Conditions in if-else statements are checked in order and only the first true condition executes. And you can see that there's an explanation point, and that actually negates a boolean. So it turns it to true to false or vice versa. Nested statements should be avoided if possible. Like try to use something else because they can get confusing quickly. It's just gonna look really, really long and really hard to read. So now we have loops, really important. So you see the ... and it means it's a closed range, which means it includes both endpoints, while ... less than is a half open range, which means it excludes the last value. The underscore means I don't care about this value. I don't care about it. And the stride function is useful for counting from 2s to 3s or going backwards, like whenever you're not looping one by one, incrementing. Now, moving on to a different type of loop is the while loop. So while loops are useful when you don't know how many times you need to loop. For loops you generally use when you know how many times you're going to loop. The condition is checked before each iteration, so the repeat while guarantees the code runs at least once, which is useful for menus or input validation. If you guys ever done Java, it's really similar to a do while loop. Always, always, always make sure your loop has a way to end. Like you should always have a counter or a condition that eventually becomes false, because if it keeps on looping, it can cause many problems in your program or projects. So finally, in control flow, we have optionals. So optionals are one of Swift's key safety features. They force you to handle cases where like values may be missing. So you must see there's a question mark, and this means like, okay, this may be nil, and you must check before using it. The if let is the safest way to unwrap this. It only runs the code if there is actually a value. The double question mark operator provides a fallback value. Forced unwrapping with explanation point should generally be avoided unless you're absolutely certain this value exists, because if it's nil, your app is done. It's gonna crash. So, and guard statements are great for validation at the start of functions.